What makes you a person who is extremely good at squatting? It depends on three things: the length of the tibia, the length of the femur, and the length of the goddamn torso. If a person has comparatively big tibia, a smaller femur, and a very big torso, he is genetically gifted for squatting. He'll definitely put up big numbers on squatting at a powerlifting meet. If a person has a moderate to small tibia, but he has a shorter femur and a longer torso, again he is built for squatting. But it is that person who has a super long femur and a very small torso, he at squatting. No matter what he does, he absolutely at squatting. He can't lift big weights on the barbell back squats, and his joints aches, his knee aches, and especially his lower back aches like hell while squatting. But can you work through your genetic proportions? I know you can't just cut off your femurs, make it short just to squat more. You'll have to work around it. Let me demonstrate the squatting technique with my own example. In my case, my femur and torso are comparatively the same length, but I think that my femur is absolutely slightly bigger than my torso. So look at me squat with a narrow stance. You can see my hips go back. It's like I'm squatting in a low bar squat. This is how I usually squat. But can I squat deep? Absolutely yes. And let me show how. See, this is how I squat deeper. I can squat deeper, but you can see that my femurs are not super short and I'm not genetically built for squatting. So what if a person has a super long femur and a very short torso? All you need to do is widen your stance and slightly rotate your hips outwards this way. And then you squat down like this. See, you can easily go deeper and the knee travels more forward and you can stay more upright and your hips don't go back. See, it stays relatively upright. The second tip to squat deeper is a simple heel elevation. As I said, another way to squat deeper is a heel elevation. With a heel elevation, you can keep your stance narrow, but yet you can squat deeper. Just like this. See, I can squat deeper by keeping my stance narrow with the simple heel elevation. And you can also see, look at the line of force and look at the knee momentum. This is the line of force and this is the knee momentum and the hip momentum. You can bias your quads very well with a heel elevation. And also you can stay more upright. See guys, not everyone is genetically gifted for squatting. It's a freaking fact. You can observe the Olympic elite weightlifters, especially the Chinese ones. Look at the length of their femurs. It's extremely short and their torso is freaking big. That's why they can get the deep range of knee flexion with the upright torso. Like they can stay upright and still squat ass to grass. Why? They have short freaking femurs. They are genetically gifted for squatting. Like a guy with long femurs should widen up his stance a lot to get that ass to the grass squats. And yet the guy with long femur should also have a great degree of ankle dorsiflexion. Right? Or else he can't do that ass to the grass and also have that great hip mobility to do that wide stance squats and then squat ass to grass. These guys with long femurs and short torso should put in hours and hours of training just to learn to squat ass to the grass. Why? Because they are not genetically gifted. They don't have short femurs and a long torso. It's vice versa. They have super long femurs, like super long femurs and a short torso, which makes them genetically disadvantageous for squatting. So if you're a person with long femurs and a short torso and you're thinking that, oh damn, I can't squat Like my other friend who has the right technique, he squats perfectly from day one and he squats more than you. Just go examine his femur and torso. Just measure his femur and measure his torso. You'll come to know that he has a very small freaking femur, and that's why he squats like perfect, Mr. Perfect Squatter from day one of the gym. See guys, work ethic is freaking important. Your genetics and your talent is useless without hard work. But I think especially when it comes for lifting more weights, powerlifting, weightlifting, your genetics absolutely matter. You can't deny that. But for hypertrophy, you can choose other exercises to train your quads. You can do pendulum squats, you can do hack squats, you can do leg extensions, you can do leg press. There is no absolute rule that you need to do high bar barbell squats to get bigger quads. No, that's not the case. There are other variations. So I hope you learned something new from this video. Do apply these tips to your gym routine when you're doing exercises in the gym, especially the squats. Train safe, learn the right technique, improve your breathing and bracing techniques. Guys, please do not ego lift in the gym. Preserve your joint health and ensure that you have longevity while training in the gym, because that's what ensures to bring out your peak natural bodybuilding genetics. I hope this message sinks in, and until then, peace out.
देखिए, एक तो बेसिक ट्रिक है, एक तो लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए महाकाल का, दबाकर लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए, 5000 लौटे दिख जाना चाहिए। ये 4000 के लिए मैं यहाँ पे नहीं खड़ा हूँ, पूरा साल मेहनत करता हूँ आपके लिए बेटा। ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। लाइक ठोकी दबा के, लाइक ठोकिए। यहाँ पे देखिए, ऐसा क्वेश्चन चुटकी बजाते